Oh, so cold. Oh yeah. Oh, it is so cold. And yes, it's that time of year again. We're gonna have to do this. And I am so not looking forward to it. Time to get the winter tires on this car, on Blue Lightning. It is cold. It is 31 degrees outside cold. By the way, TJ, that's what cold is like, and that's what cold is like, but it gets colder still. And the day has come, and the time has come for me to really do this. I have to get the winter tires on this car. And why is that important? You know, just drive it year round. What's the big deal? And by the way, you guys know that the Blue Lightning is the car that I drive every day. Oh, cool. Porsche. It looks like a 4S, and it sure is 911. All right, so here's the deal. I have to put snow tires on this car because where I live, if I don't do that, and I did that the very first year because, as you guys know, the tires on the BMW i8 are a bit unusual. And what do I mean by a bit unusual? Well, let me show you. Remember, the i8, they have 20-inch tires, but they're really skinny. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. But the tread and the compound that's used for the tires is very soft. And sure, it works for sports tires in the summer, but in the winter, this rubber under about 35 degrees or so turns to glass, which means you have no traction, you have no stopping power, and it's a disaster. So you basically have a giant skateboard with a lot less control. So we're not having that. So guys, if you, unless you're running a all-season tire, which is kind of a mix between the two, and in my view, you get neither the best of each feature, you kind of get a mixed bag. So I don't run all seasons, but I recognize that not everybody can afford two sets of tires. But if you can, I would strongly suggest that you have a winter set of tires and a summer or sports set of tires, because it makes a world of difference. And I had one incident in this at the very beginning of owning this car where you couldn't even buy winter tires. In fact, I was the first customer, according to BMW North America, to have put winter tires on the BMW i8 as a consumer. That was kind of scary because I had 6 weeks in the middle of winter where this car was sketchy. And I had one incident was really close, like butt-clenching close. And that, again, reminded me why it's so important to really have the right tires. Listen, that tire is your only contact between you and the outside, between the car and the environment, the road. And without it, you are at such great risk. So you really do have to get the right equipment, particularly on a car like this. So I'm going to show you the treads of the tires. I'm going to show you the wheels. These are the turbine wheels, and you're going to see my winter set actually has more of the concept type wheels. And that's what we're going to put on. So I'm going into the BMW dealership this morning to get them swapped out. And, you know, this is now a final admission that the winter is here. We'll make it work. But I'm unhappy because the driving season is probably truly officially dead. So I'll take you along for the ride. Here we go. So the current wheels on the BMW i are the Potenzas, the Bridgestone Potenzas 245 40 R20, and they're 215s 45 R20 on the front, and that's my summer setup. You can see the tread pattern is obviously designed for sports. And by the way, if you look under there, you can see an M control arm. Isn't that pretty cool? But anyway, there you have it. That's what the summer tires look like. Designed for performance and grip, not for snow and ice. So that's what I'm going to be changing today. This car is so good. It is, it's just, I don't know. It's a great daily driver. By the way, I'm going to release a video in the next probably week or so, certainly within the next month, let's say that, that talks about the BMW i8 as a family car. Can it be? Is it a family car? And you'd be surprised. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Let me just talk a little bit about my experience with the BMW i8, because I have the series I Times Living with the BMW i8. And I've had this now. This is going to be the third winter that I've had this car. And I will tell you that the first two winters have been amazing. Now, granted, last year, the winter, at least the beginning part of the winter, was pretty light. But then we had a real winter that started after January. And this car has been as good as the X6M that I had in the past. It has been as good as the X6M. The M5, with being a rear-wheel drive car and with big fat, 21-inch tires, even winter tires, was good, but still had some trouble in some locations just because it's rear-wheel drive. This car has the advantage of being front-wheel drive in pure electric mode and all-wheel drive in sport mode. So whenever you need it, and it has some advanced technologies that allows torque on individual axes and different axes, that really sort of helps. So it's gotten me through virtually every situation, every winter situation, with confidence. So I've not had to worry about, will this car get me where I want to? The other thing too that I've done to this car is the entire car is protected by XPEL Ultimate. And XPEL has been wonderful with the channel. I've used their product to protect all of my cars, and it's been amazing. We had one incident where a bicyclist came fairly close to this car, to the i8, and all that happened was a scratch in the clear bra itself. This is a self-healing product. I was amazed. It went away, and was pretty good. So was pretty happy with the way that all turned out. So overall, I can't complain about anything in this car. It's just been really wonderful. It's been a great car to drive. I've had no major problems. We had a little bit of a gas, a fuel sensor that has since been corrected. But in the time that I've owned the i8, it's been just amazing. And so today, we're going to get her some new shoes. Well, put on some old shoes, I guess, is the best way to say it. Here we are at our BMW center, and we are going to drop the car off and get the new wheels, or new old wheels put on. So there you have it. All right, guys, so the i8 is in for service. You can see the wheels as they look like. We're going to be heading out, and we're taking the X5 out as our loaner for the day. So this is our loaner. Pretty cool car, actually. If you remember, I had an X6M. I also had an X5 4.8 IS. Good car. So you know, remember this, those wheels look very much like the concept car. And that's one of the reasons why I like them so much. I was talking about why it was so important to get winter wheels. As you can tell, just look at the tread pattern for a winter tire as opposed to a sports tire. Very different. So it actually took us, I don't know, about 6 weeks to find these things. This is the third season on these. These are Bridgestone Blizzaks LM32. Yeah, LM32s. Pretty good. They really keep the car on the road. So like I said, you know, you can have 2 sets of wheels, but at least if you have sports tires, you gotta swap them out, guys, and make sure you have winter tires on. That is your only contact between you and the road, and if you don't have it, you will pay the price and you will not be happy. These guys here at BMW always do an awesome job of getting the car ready. So there's our winter setup. Boom. And there's the winter setup. I'm excited for it. It looks pretty good. And I need a picture.